Happy Sunday, people. Here we are once again for another Artist Spotlight Sunday. And I am Deepspawn Logic, thanking you so much for joining me in the continued support of independent artists and their music. Today, I focus on a guest who has multiple talents that have pulled him on different paths, all leading to excellence in each type of artistry. From playing guitar on international tours with the likes of Liz Wright and Joan Baez, to writing, directing, and performing his own one-man show, The Rivers Run Through Me. There's way too much for me to cover in these few minutes, but I will give you a glimpse into the life of this accomplished man. So today, I present to you guitarist, teacher, author, singer-songwriter, actor, and playwright, Mr. Anthony Tru Born Peterson. Let's turn this light up and let's go. Anthony Peterson was born in St. Louis, Missouri. He remembers as a young boy his mom would put on Wes Montgomery and many others while cleaning the house. Along with watching Chuck Berry, B.B. King, Jimi Hendrix, Chet Atkins, and classical guitarist Andre Segovia, these inspirations lit a flame that allowed Anthony to start his musical journey at the age of 13. Here he received a scholarship in classical guitar to the St. Louis Conservatory of Music. After high school, Anthony attended the Berklee College of Music in Boston. He excelled to the point that after earning his degree in music education, Anthony became a faculty member a year after graduation for 3 years. After Berklee, he then moved to Brooklyn, New York. It was around that time that he belonged to a band called the PBR Street Gang, which included himself, Bill McClellan, Amafujo Innes, Bruce Mack, and his bass-playing brother Mark Peterson, who is also a previous spotlighted artist. This was during the late 80s to early 90s when the Black Rock Coalition was popular, starting with the great rock band Living Colour. He remembers him and his band playing frequently around the city, especially at a place called the Wetlands, where you had a chance of seeing 4 to 5 bands in one night. It was experiences like these that allowed him to explore many multiple genres of music. After mastering such instruments as the acoustic, electric, and classical guitar, dobro, 6- and 8-string lap steel, and also the bass, his amazing skills has allowed him to play on international musical tours and projects with Peter Gabriel, Cassandra Wilson, Oliver Lake, Janis Ian, Liz Wright, and Spike Lee, just to name a few. He has played with an impeccable lineup of artists, but his most memorable was outside of the limelight playing in George Benson's basement. George watched Anthony play for a while with one of his guitars. After some time, he said to Anthony, "You're very good." Anthony looked up at him and asked him to play. George, in a very enthusiastic tone, said, "Yeah, man." They ended up playing one-on-one for almost 2 hours. This is a moment Anthony states he would never forget. Anthony later moved to the Bay Area in California, performing and teaching for 16 years. Anthony, now known as Tru Born, also wrote, produced, and released his first CD entitled I'm Not Through Dreaming. He states that while songwriting, the song starts as a story, sometimes expressing emotional conflict or basically seeing things from a different point of view. When asked of his personal influences, his answer was broad but specific. To him, influence comes in a spiritual and emotional sense. He explores the teachings of people like Bruce Lee for his high level of skill and focus. Richard Bendler, who developed the science of neuro-linguistic programming, which has helped people break through crippling beliefs and traumas. And then Denzel Washington, not only for his extraordinary acting skills, but his sense of focused humility applied in life. Tru Born's heart not only lies with his music, but he is also an extraordinary theatrical actor. In 2012, he had his first experience with the California Shakespeare Theater in its production of Spunk by Zora Neale Hurston as Guitar Man. Later that year, Tru Born moved to Durham, North Carolina, where he earned his master's degree in music composition and jazz studies. After North Carolina, he moved back to St. Louis, where he tapped in on his writing skills and produced his book on jazz improvisation entitled Three Masters, Five Ways. In 2017, he traveled to the infamous Hotel Astral in Berlin, Germany, to perform as a guitarist for the band of the Michael Jackson Tribute Concert Series with impersonator William Hall on his European tour. From 2018 to 2019, he played jazz guitar at Jazz at the Bistro at the Centene Jazz Education Center. Here he played Terence Blanchard's original score for the performances of Zora Neale Hurston's Bud Not Buddy, which was produced by the Metro Theater Company and Jazz in St. Louis. He remembers he was invited to sit in multiple nights and perform on guitar with Branford Marsalis. During Anthony's career, he has developed and taught many master classes in jazz guitar performance. Along with many other schools, Anthony taught at Vibo School of Music as a guitar and songwriting teacher and performer. Here he developed a program and taught guitar, ukulele, and songwriting to a diverse group of children and adults, including stress relief for adults through Tai Chi, Qigong, and contemplative traditions, which prepared students for performances, and they performed with faculty at public and special events. In the spring of 2022, he received a grant from the organization Mid-America Arts Alliance. He created a one-man playwright with music entitled The Rivers Run Through Me. He performed the play and its accompanying seminar in July of 2022. While preparing for the performance of his play, Tru Born came across another life-changing path when he was asked to become a cast member for the Arthur Miller play Death of a Salesman, which played at the Hudson Theater on Broadway. He was the understudy for the starring actor Kevin Lesor. He still can't get over the day he walked on that Broadway stage for the first time. This feeling of accomplishment and being recognized by his fellow actors meant the world to him. As an understudy, he managed to perform in 13 shows, all ending in a standing ovation. He was happy to be able to put on a performance that was comparable to the star actor. Now Tru Born finds himself going back to one of his first loves. Coming up is the 20th anniversary to his CD, I'm Not Through Dreaming. This title is awesome as it reflects where he is in this stage of life. Even with all his accomplishments, he is never through dreaming. He has remixed, remastered, and will be re-releasing this magnificent CD later this year. We won't be waiting too long to hear his music because soon he will bless us with his first single, which is named after the album. That single, I'm Not Through Dreaming, will be out very soon. Make sure you follow Tru Born to stay updated on this new release. You can also keep a lookout for another project called The Redemption Chronicles, and he will also be creating an album of children's songs. I must say, my spotlight is not bright enough to shine on everything this man has accomplished. I have only touched the surface of who he is and what he's done. Believe me when I say this is just a glimpse of it all. It was very hard to pick, choose, and refuse amongst the vast information he laid in my lap. I am always in awe of all the things I learn about my featured artists, and I hope you are too. I hope you hearing their story will make you want to find out more about them, their talents, and their music. Thank you so much for joining me for another Artist Spotlight Sunday. Check out those links in the captions and come back next Sunday for another featured artist. Until next time, hugs and love. Thank you.